Welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. Hope you're doing well. Glad to have some time with you on the podcast. We talk all things podcasting here on the How to Podcast series, and I'm thrilled that you're here. First time here, welcome. Awesome to have you here. Make sure you get your parking validated before you leave, but we're so glad you're here. If you've been here more than once, welcome back to the show. We're talking about the idea that people are getting a little bit nervous about people stealing their idea for their podcast, stealing their show. And what if I put it out there? What if somebody takes my idea? And it's interesting when I watch stuff like NASCAR, okay, everyone's turning left for a long time in race cars, driving around in what are considered stock cars, but stock cars, by definition, are stock cars, like cars that are stock, like they haven't been modified, like right off the dealership lot, bought just as normal. That's a stock car. Anyways, now they hardly even resemble a car. And in true Cars movie, Lightning McQueen style, they have stickers for lights, all that stuff. They're not really stock anymore. Anyways, you go ripping around this track, turning left for a long time, and what happens is cars get right in behind other cars, like almost trading paint. They're so close to each other as they go whipping around the track to the point where it's almost like, they're dangerously close to crashing out because they're so tight and it's so competitive. But what happens is the car behind the car in front of them is drafting. They're letting the car in front do all the work, and the air flow is flying over the first car and then over the second car behind, and they duck in behind. And they're able to save gas. They're able to go longer than the car in front because the car in front's doing all the work. Sounds like podcasting. Also, I'm in Canada. We have these things called Canadian geese. And I know my American friends, they don't like these things. They're pretty aggressive. But anyways, Canadian geese, Canadian goose, we have them up here. And when they fly in formation, like a V. And the one in front is doing all the work, and all the ones behind the one in front are benefiting from their hard work. And they honk and they do all that stuff to cheer them on. But the way that the airflow works, that first goose does all the work for a while and then rotates, and someone else, another bird, will move up to the front and do the hard work, allowing others to rest. That's why they can fly so long. So one person does all the work, everyone else benefits. And what I'm finding in podcasting, even for this show, is I will create content, and then about 2-3 weeks later, my story, my illustration, my topic is represented by someone else. They take what I do and then they put their spin on it, and it's almost verbatim what we talk about here on the show, which I find hilarious that some people don't have any unique thoughts and they just steal from other people. But B, I find it a little bit disturbing because here I am doing all this hard work and someone else is profiting. And some of these people have a way bigger audience than I do. And in this moment, I feel a little jealous because A, I did all the work, and B, someone else is just kind of drafting in behind me like a NASCAR, or flying behind me like a Canada goose, soaking in all of my hard work, and they're benefiting from it. Sometimes they're making a lot of money from it, and I'm not. And in that, I get a little bit perturbed, okay? That's my word, perturbed. So what do you do when somebody starts stealing your content? And if you're afraid of that happening, how do you move forward as a podcaster? Well, I heard this clip on TikTok, and the creator her name is Coral, and she talks about this. And I love her accent. It's fun to listen to. And she's got some great points here around people copying you. And how do you respond when somebody copies you? So here's Coral. I have a link for you. You can go watch the TikTok as well and follow her. But I find this very creative and interesting how she presents this. And I'll circle back after we hear from Coral. Here's Coral.
They copied your product. So what? Let them copy the logo. Let them mimic your colors. Let them repackage your offer like they invented them. Because what they can't copy is you. They can't steal the 2 a.m. idea you woke up to write down. They can't fake the energy you pour into every client call. They don't have your taste, your timing, your guts, and they'll never touch your vision. You see, products can be copied, but presence can't. You're not just selling something. You are the brand. You're the reason it works. You're the touch behind the details that no one notices until they feel the difference. Let them replicate. You'll keep innovating. Let them watch. You'll keep moving. They might match your features, but they'll never match your fire. You're not in this to imitate. You're in this to dominate.
So yeah, when I hear this, I'm thinking, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like, yes, somebody can copy your results, but nobody can copy your process. Nobody else is in your head. Nobody else is living inside your brain as you get these ideas, as you get this creative spark. And what I feel sorry for are people who don't have the time, the effort, the diligence, the discipline to be their own creative source. They just like to copy and steal and pillage from other people. That's sad because they don't have anything to offer. And yet they're still building businesses. They're still getting clients. They're still doing all the things. And I know it's not fair. I know it's really not fair because you're out here doing your best. You're not stealing. You're not borrowing. You're not taking from someone else to build what you want to build. You're doing it the right way. And someone else is benefiting off the hard work that you put out in the world. I think that as podcasters, we just need to understand that they're only creative because you are. The people who copy you, they're only creative in this life because you are. Without you, they would have no point of reference. They would have nothing that inspires them. They have enough wisdom to find you as a source of information. I know they're taking your stuff. I know they're repackaging it, but it comes from you. And what I find is when I find a creative person, they're a person who doesn't get down on the fact that other people like to mimic them and copy them. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. We've heard that before. As podcasters, we just need to continue to innovate, be creative, think outside the box, all of those cliche terms. We need to live that as podcasters and show up for our audience. Be dreaming, be thinking, be planning, and be pursuing things that other people aren't. Seeing around corners and anticipating needs and always growing. Our growth leads to the growth of our podcast and the growth of our audience. So how are you growing? How are you doing more with your show and more with your planning? It's something for us to think about. When podcasters worry about other people stealing their ideas, it's really important for us to recognize that while somebody can really copy the surface, the exterior of what we do, your cover art, your format, even your episode themes, and when you get clever and you do something unique, they can copy all of that. It's out there for them to take. And but what sets you apart as a podcaster and what sets your podcast apart is that they don't have the same technical setup or even the same episode concepts that you have, but the unique mix of your voice, your perspective, and your story, and the way that you connect with listeners can't be copied. Your listeners are coming to your show because of you. Your content is a bonus. Your guest is a bonus, but it's you. It's always you. And you can't be copied. We have AI tools that are super helpful and, in some cases, super hurtful as far as creating content. It's just the way it is. But the one thing that can't be duplicated is you. You're the unique thing about your show. Keep that in mind in all that you do. You can't be copied. You can't, because the moment somebody tries to copy you, you just turn in a new direction, and now you're leading the way again. A copycat can grab your logo, your colors. They can even repackage the style of your show, the tone of your show, but they can't manufacture what happens for you. Like we heard from Coral, that 2 a.m. inspiration that wakes you up and you got to scribble it out on a notepad beside your bed. Those moments of brilliance that come your way as a creative person, that can't be copied. Those little taps on the shoulder to do this, talk about that, go in this direction, that's for you. That's not for everyone. And even if they try to copy it, they're not going to get the same results because it started with you. They can't pour the same energy and heartfelt interviews and how you deal with your audience and deal with your guests the way that you do. They don't have your instincts, your timing, your humor, your life experience. All of these things are ingredients that make your podcast worth listening to, and it'll make it so that you can't be ignored as a podcaster. Podcasts can be copied. Your show can be copied, but who you are can't be copied. A podcast isn't just an audio file or a video footage on YouTube. It's your voice. It's your vulnerability. It's your intentional choices that you make that slowly, over time, showing up on a regular basis builds trust with your audience, companionship. You are your own brand. You as a podcaster are a brand. It's not just your show, it's you. Listeners don't just come for the information or for the entertainment. They come for you. They want to be a companion in life, on this journey. They want to build you into their life. They come back week after week, episode after episode, because of how you make them feel and because of the trust you've earned and the equity you've earned with the listener over time. So let those people who have no inspiration come and replicate you. Let them do it. Let them come. Let them take your ideas. I know somebody's going to take this idea and replicate it for their show. I already anticipate it. Does that make me stop wanting to podcast? And she's like, I don't want to do this anymore because everybody just copies me. No, I'm just going to keep coming up with new things and new ideas and things to put in front of you that nobody else is talking about or talking about it in the way that I do it. So let them come for me. It's okay. I'll just keep innovating. I'll just keep coming up with new things and let them follow me. I'll just let it happen. Let them design the same format as my show. Let them do the same intro. Let them pick the same music. Let them pick the same style. Let them pick the same guests. You will outdo your competition by cultivating depth and nuance within what you do as a podcaster on your show. They may try to match your features, but they'll never match your fire. I love how Coral talks about that. They'll never match your fire. Copycats can't beat originality because originality is fueled from within. It comes from you. You're not in podcasting to imitate others. You're not. You're here to dominate and be the most unmistakable, unapologetic version of yourself. That's what draws people to you like a bug to a bug zapper, but with a positive result. You're going to attract people to you that others can't. Again, they can say the same words that you say. They can do the same artwork that you do, but they can't do it the way you do it. They can't steal your voice. This is how podcasting works. I want you to go out this week and be creative. I want you to think of new ways to speak to your audience. I want you to think of new ways to bring life to what you do and to stop worrying about the people who are right behind you like two NASCARs in a race, right against your bumper, benefiting from all your hard work as you push through. They're coasting behind you with very little effort and getting all of your results. Or as a Canadian goose doing that flying V you see through the skies, that first goose is doing all of the heavy lifting to get all of those other geese in line and helping them get to their destination. But they're honking them on, they're cheering them on the whole time, right? You might be doing the bulk of the work, but the results come back to the person who does the most work, shows up as a true, authentic human being, shows up with personality, style, and tone, and concern, companionship. All of these things can't be duplicated by somebody who's lazy, who just wants to copy you. So for the lazy people out there, stop copying people and start being you. Start being your own version of you. If you want to see results that last, lean into who you are and stop copying people who do all the work. It's time for you to step up and do your own show. And if you need help with your podcast and you're stuck in a rut, you find yourself trying to emulate someone else because you've run out of ideas, you and I need to get together and chat about your podcast because you're not leaning into who you really are. And if you did, you'd see better results, better connection with your audience. You'd see growth. You'd see a lot of great results happening by simply just being who you are on the microphone, on camera, with your community. They need you, not some photocopied version of someone else that you're trying to pretend to be. Take the mask off, take off all the stuff that doesn't look like you, and lean into who you are. That's what we need in podcasting. That's what your audience is looking for. If they don't find it in you, they're going to go to your competition. So it's time for you to lean into who you are. And don't worry about those people who are on the wings, following you and taking your stuff and repackaging it as their own. People will find them out over time. You be you and keep showing up on the mic. If you need help, howtopodcast.ca. I'd love to help you. Thanks for being here. Hey, thanks for being here. Thank you for listening to the end of the podcast. You're here with me. I'm so grateful. I want to put something in front of you. For the person that's listened this far, you're my new best friend. So what I'm trying to do every month is I have a goal, and you can help me with this goal. Very simple. What I'm trying to do is have 5 conversations this month with listeners of the How to Podcast series. You don't have to have a podcast to respond. This can be the first time ever that we're going to have a conversation, but I'm looking to talk to 5 people. Now, you're still here, so you're one of the people that I would love to talk to next. So on my howtopodcast.ca website is a calendar, and I'd love to have you respond on howtopodcast.ca. Just click the calendar link, set up time in my calendar, and in the comments section for the meeting, just put something like listener. That's it. If you have a show, put it in the comments too so I can go listen. But if you don't, I just want to talk to 5 listeners every month from now to the end of the month. So if you're listening to me right now, you're the person I want to talk to. And through howtopodcast.ca, you and I can get together, chat about the show, chat about your journey as a podcaster. Where are you at? What do you need the show to become for you? What's missing? Your feedback. I just want to meet you. And as podcasters, I would encourage you to do something similar to this in your podcast so that you can meet and interact with your audience. So, howtopodcast.ca, I'm looking to talk to 5 people every month, and I would love for you to be one of them. Reach out. It's free. I'm not selling you anything. I just want to talk to you at howtopodcast.ca. Let's get in the calendar and chat. Thanks for listening.